This is meeting of the Ripon City Council, Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. We need somebody to report out closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, the City Council met in closed session. The closed session began at 5:30. 4 out of the 5 members were present, with Councilmember DeGraff being absent. Council was gave direction to staff regarding some real property negotiations to take to the potential lessee of the cell tower. They also provided, they unanimously approved bills for the pending litigation cases that are listed on the agenda.
All right, thank you.
Beyond that, there was no other reportable action.
If everyone could join me for the pledge and remain standing for the invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening, in the strong name of Jesus, thankful for each and every single one of the leaders who are present in this room, as well as those who have gathered to celebrate different milestones and moments in their life tonight. God, we just pray for wisdom for those that you have called to lead this great city, that you will give them strength and favor, that they will lead for righteousness, and that they will do it all for your glory. And so, God, give them wisdom tonight and help them, Lord, in the duties that you've assigned them. For we ask that in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Could we get a roll call, please?
Certainly. Councilmember Mike Rasuccia.
Present.
Dean Euchre.
Here.
Gary Barton.
Present.
Vice Mayor Daniel DeGraff.
Here.
Mayor Leo Zuber.
Here. Next item on the agenda is public discussion. This is the time in the meeting when anyone can address any item that is not on the agenda for tonight's meeting. Is there anyone wishing to address the council? If you'll go over to the podium, give us your name and address.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Ramon Amaral. I'm a field representative with the North Cal Carpenters Union. I'm here tonight to request the City of Ripon to adapt labor standards and pre-qualification language for future projects. One labor standard would be the use of state-sponsored apprenticeship programs. Because of increased wages and lack of student debt, construction apprenticeships can be a better option for many young people than traditional undergrad programs. Construction apprenticeship programs are the proven escalator to the middle class, training tens of thousands of construction workers every year at no cost to taxpayers, producing skilled and trained individuals to be successful for future projects. Another great labor standard would be the requirement that contractors provide health care. 26% of construction workers in California lack health insurance. That's 2.5 times the rate for all workers in California. Policies that require contractors to offer their workers family health care will raise standards in the construction industry, while also ensuring that employers who do offer health care can compete on a level playing field. We at the North Cal Carpenters look forward to having a detailed conversation with each of you. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else? Go ahead.
My name is Dale DeBee. I live at 510 East Main Street. Mr. Mayor, I'm here to express some concerns about the signal that's proposed for East Main Street and the overpass. You had someone here, a consultant here last month. Part of what she said was that if a signal is installed at this time, it's going to cause greater delay than the stop signs that are in place now. I know that on the consent calendar, you have an item to move this forward, to pay additional money to the consultant for design and permitting of Caltrans. And I'm a little confused why you would even move forward if the signals are gonna contribute more of a delay than what you have right now with stop signs. None of the area residents knew about this. I found out about it from the Manteca Bulletin. I just like to see that perhaps pulled from the consent calendar and maybe get some additional input from local residents and businesses. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? All right, seeing no one, we'll move on. Next item is the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of March 12th and for a workshop that was held on April 2nd.
So move. I'll second. Huh? Oh,
You have to approve each one? Okay,
Minutes first.
do the minutes first.
so move.
Second.
Yeah, from this one, but we're gonna fix that from now on.
Yep.
All right,
can make it.
motion carries. Can we get a motion for the minutes for the workshop?
So move.
Second.
Oops, some disappeared. I know.
All right, motion carries. Next item is the approval of the agenda as posted or amended. At this point, does anybody have any items from the consent calendar they want to pull for discussion?
I want to put 1.4C,
No, you want to pull 1.48. You want C?
Excuse me.
1.4A. You want A, and I want 1.4C. We'll get it, just hang in there. All right, so we have two items pulled for discussion. Can we get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So move.
All right, and now we can move to the consent calendar, and can we get a motion to approve the consent calendar as amended? All right, that's approved. All right, so the first item up for discussion, 1.4A. Mr. Restuccia.
Yeah, the reason I think there were several of us wanted to pull this, it requires us to spend an additional $29,000 to obtain an encroachment permit. We had a traffic study done. And when I asked the lady, would it help the traffic? She said no. Or the backup. And I told her the cars parked on the side of the street, and she said they do. So I was a little bit concerned. I mean, I can make anything work at a model in an office. That's what they did. If she didn't even see cars were parked out there, she didn't come out and take a close look. And then some of the things that she talked about was maybe moving some of the lines, maybe putting a median in, a lot of things that I just can't accept. And so she talked about putting a median in to the frontage road. And so from my standpoint, I'll just say, I don't want to move forward with the project at all. I don't think a light should be put up there at this point. And so I will vote no on this. And I'll vote no on the light as well at this point. So that's the reason I brought this up. I wasn't convinced that we had a solid footing to spend $750,000.
Yes.
this is grant funded or a portion of it's grant funded, if there's a schedule that you would have to meet, and if so, then, you know, if we don't move forward with that schedule, then so be it. But if there's ability to sort of slow the scope or, you know, maybe break it up into phases and have them prepare a better, more detailed plan of what they would envision for this intersection to look like and how that would impact the adjacent residents, I would be okay with moving forward with that portion of it. So I don't know, Kevin, if you have input on what that could look like.
Yeah, I know during the discussion we had, when the consultant was here, there was a lot of questions about the geometric. So one of the items is for them to do the geometric design. We certainly could direct them to do a preliminary geometric design and more like a 30% layout of what that would look like, and then bring that back to the city council. That would not be an issue at all. And then that could help answer some of the questions that came up when we met last about this.
Yeah, and I think understanding the timing of what, you know, when they would expect. I think a portion of what you see is the impacts from traffic are a short period of time. There's a lengthy line, and I know their model says it will make that worse. I think it could probably improve the worst parts of it during the day, and I don't know, sometimes a light, when there's minimal traffic, a light is worse because you get stopped at a light where you normally wouldn't. But when you have that long line of traffic in the morning, I think it could help move that through. I think we're like this afternoon when you have freeway traffic, it's not going to do anything to improve that because it's a delay of getting onto the freeway, and all you do is they stack up on top of the overpass. So I think there's probably more benefit to having the light than what their study said, but I'd certainly like to see how it'd be laid out. So, and
Yeah, I think it was helpful for I talked to him afterwards, and they appreciated the comments and the direction that came up. And they were, as part of this scope, they wanted to try to address those as much as they can and see how they can mitigate those.
Yeah, maybe like to see them put the design together and what it would actually look like, and then sit down with the residents and yeah, understand how it actually works, what it looks like, and have a real plan for us rather than a
more conceptual.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see if we're going to try and move forward with it.
You have something?
Yes. Yeah, I'll echo Councilman Astucia. I did not find the presentation compelling to change the four-way stop. If the consultant heard our concerns, I don't understand why those were not in her report this month when they're asking for an additional $29,000. And beyond that, Kevin, when would, or maybe Lisa, when would the public be able to weigh in on this matter? I thought the presentation this evening was appropriate. There are a lot of people at that intersection and the surrounding neighborhood are going to be significantly impacted by this one way or another.
Yeah, we could set up a public workshop. I know last time I did invite Mr. DeBee when the consultant was here and shared the report with him. But we certainly can open it up as a public workshop and advertise it as such as well. And I think it's good getting as many comments as we can about that and try to mitigate those as much as possible. That's what we've done on other improvement projects. And that's the goal, try to install the infrastructure that makes a better operating intersection at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm gonna, do you need direction, or does this discussion let you know what you need to do?
Right now, they have some money in their current budget, not to do the geometric design, but I could talk to them about using some of that money, if that's the direction of the council, at least to do a preliminary design of that geometrics and bring that back in a workshop format to go through another detailed discussion of the intersection.
Okay, I have one question, and then I think, is there a time limit on when this thing could be done?
Yeah, we'll work with COG You're talking about for the grant?
Yeah,
Yeah, there is, but I think there's some flexibility
All right.
with the CMAQ money. I think in the whole overall CMAQ project, this is a smaller.
and the reason I asked the question is I can foresee, you go back and tell them what this discussion was about and what the holes are in it. They come back and say, okay, but we need
Right.
X amount. So now you gotta come back in May and say, all right, to address your issue. So that's possible too. So I think at this point, you understand what the concerns are of the council.
Yeah.
Go back and talk to them and then we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah,
Does
so
that work
th-
for
That's
everybody?
fine.
They could spend some money doing the geometric design right now. We'll bring that back, have the workshop, and if council chooses to go forward after that workshop, then we'll bring this back. and
All right.
Can I make one
discuss that.
last comment if you don't
Yeah,
mind?
go ahead.
And I think that public is important. Now, I get calls about all kinds of stuff in town. I've never got a call about the backup on that road. I know that some of us may have, but everybody realizes it's 40 minutes a day during school time, and that's it. It stops. It's over. And to spend $750,000 for 40 minutes, I think you can restripe some of that stuff because Dan doesn't like the fact that people don't know how to get over to make that right-hand turn to get on the bridge. But I think a workshop for people to have input
Right.
for things that maybe we missed. Maybe everything sounds great
No,
to us,
that's
but
right.
we may have missed some stuff for people to have some input. So I think
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, we certainly could do that.
All right. You got enough then? All right. I'm the one that pulled 1.4C and this, I had no problem with it. I just wanted to comment that the amount of street work that's going to be done under this is mind-boggling comes to mind based on past experience with street work. A lot of people are gonna have improved streets in their neighborhood, and this is why for the last 4 or 5 years, we've worked to put money aside and collect money from other sources so that we can begin to move towards large-scale projects like this, rather than we do a block here and a block there. And so this is a lot, and I thank you for putting it together and collecting all the money to get it done. It's gonna make a lot of people very happy when this is, well, they might be a little bit upset while they're doing it, I can tell you that. But when it's over, they're gonna have streets that are gonna be a lot better than they are right now.
And can I just make a comment? Your idea about overlaying some of those colors on there was a great idea because we get a good sense of what's happening. So
Yeah.
that was a great idea.
Okay,
And I assume there's gonna be a pretty significant notification process in this because those residents will be disrupted from moving up and down the streets.
Yeah, the contract does include a requirement to put door hangers on people's doors with the dates they're not going to be able to park on the street. And they'll have signs out on the street as well.
They do a really good job of that.
Yeah.
In my neighborhood, I mean, they really did a good job.
yeah.
And they get in and out of there as fast as they can. What? What do you say?
All right, so we need a motion to approve 1.4C.
Second.
Okay,
Oops. Now I have to do some work.
you do.
Can I get the people from River Christian up, please? Right over here.
I'm not part of the group. Do I stand up?
You're gonna be made famous, so turn around and face the audience.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, these are the fun parts. These young men and women and their coaches are from River Christian, and we're recognizing some pretty significant accomplishments. The volleyball team was the Southern League champion, the Division IV Sac Joaquin section champion, and the Division III NorCal champion, and the Division III state champion. Yeah. Football team was the Southern League champion, the Division 7A Sac Joaquin champions. This is a new one. I had to actually go ask the superintendent what it was, and that's pretty significant. They were the San Joaquin section academic champion. That means that the overall grade point average for the varsity football team at Ripon Christian was the highest of all the teams in the section this year.
Nice.
So we not only have good players, we got smart. And the last one is the cross-country team. They also were the San Joaquin section academic champions. So they didn't have. And I'd just like to say that the city council recognizes Ripon Christian Schools for their success and publicly congratulates their teams, their athletes, and their coaches for a job well done. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Thank you for coming. Oh, good. Don't. All the kids get a you want to take? I do that? You didn't hear a word, did you?
What? I didn't say nothing.
Okay, Dennis, your turn.
Come on, Danny. As Mona would say, DB.
We all have heard I hate this. We've all heard for the past, I don't know, couple, 3 weeks about Dennis and his experiences with the fire department, 42 years. Started out as a volunteer, got promoted to lieutenant and captain, became a state certified emergency medical technician. Then he got hired by the district, became a battalion chief, then the assistant chief, and in 2003, he was the fire chief. But I have to say, there is more to Dennis than being a fireman. And I want to cover a little bit of that, too. He was born in Escalon. And when he was born in Escalon, Escalon had a hospital. Don't now. Ripon had one, too, and that's another story. But his family moved to Ripon, and he went to Atlanta School in the 1st through 3rd grades, River School in the 4th grade, and spent grades 5 through 8 at Ripon Elementary School. Then he went to Ripon High School. Couple of significant things, probably the one I remember the most. I wasn't here yet, but I've read about it off and on. In 1976, the football team, which he was a member of, won the league, won the section, and played for the CIF championship that year. We're unsuccessful, but no Ripon school's gotten that far, or team has gotten that far since. And it's when it comes up, so when we get a pretty good team, all of a sudden this picture shows up of Dennis and the team, and it says, back in 1976, this is what you have to do, you know. So he's part of that. When he was in elementary school, his big dream was to be a cowboy because your parents raised horses, and that's what happened. Probably explains why after he got out of high school, he went to work for Ripon Farm Service. Pretty close. And he spent time there at Modesto Junior College, and he was also a volunteer fireman for the Ripon Fire District. And then in 1990, he was hired by the fire district, much to the chagrin of Ripon Farm Service, and went on to the success that he had. And sort of, well, it's not an aside. A lot of people, most people in this town are glad they live here. And they know that this is a special place. And there are lots of reasons why. I've lived here long enough, I'll give you one, a big one. In this room, the fire chief, or the police chief, the recreation commissioner, the planning director, the attorney, the city administrator, and the city clerk, all are products of the Ripon community and the Ripon schools. So when people come in and talk about what Ripon is, how it's got here, and trying to keep it that way, the one advantage that we have and that they have, and Dennis is one of those people, they know what the town is. They grew up with the town the way it was. They don't have to be told what they're trying to preserve. They know. And it makes their decisions, in my experience, a lot easier to make and a lot more effective. So, Dennis, for that reason and a lot more, on behalf of the city and its residents, this city council wants to congratulate you on your retirement and thank you very much for your service to the community. Have anything you want to say? Now it's your turn.
So, well, first of all, City Council and City staff, thank you very much for this recognition. It means a lot to me. And like I've said, you know, it takes a village to do what managers do. I'm sure that police chief would tell you the same thing, is you can only do what your community stands behind you for. And part of the community that stands behind me and has stood behind me has been the City Council over the years, and I've appreciated all the support that I've gotten from the City Council and the City of Ripon to do what I do. And we really believe in our community, and most of our firefighters come from the same path as you talked about. They're hometown people and or very close around us, and I think it really shows. It shows in the people that we have and the product that we deliver. So I'm proud to be a part of that. And again, thank you very much for this.
Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you for coming up here. Ooh, public hearing on the Ripon Consolidated Fire District fee update. Who's handling that?
Canton.
I'll take that one, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
For tonight's public hearing, we are actually just going to open the public hearing, take any testimony we have on the item, and then close the public hearing. There will be no action this evening. We will postpone any action on this item till a further public hearing notice in the future.
Okay. Public hearing is open. Anybody have any comments on the proposal? Don't rush up here all at once.
Dennis got to have something to say.
No, he didn't. All right.
And just to clarify, Mr. Mayor, before you close the public hearing, the hearing will stay open and until the following meeting. So we will, any comments which are received will carry over until the next meeting when this item's taken up
I
again.
don't close it. What do we do?
You do not close it. We will just, we'll allow comments to be heard. We'll push off the item until the next meeting, but
Okay.
the hearing will, for legal purposes, remain open.
Okay. So if anybody wants to talk about it, they have to come down here.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Moving on. Reports. Chief Sauer.
Mr. Mayor, I have nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
To Dean's chagrin, I have one item here. Monday, we will be having a planning commission meeting. We will be considering the tennis courts at Ripon Christian. So if you have some free time, come join us on Monday night.
Mr. Peace.
Two quick things, Mr. Mayor. 37% lower was our water usage for the month of March than our 2013 numbers. It's actually 25% higher than our last year's numbers. We're kind of into those swing months where it really depends on the weather, how much water we're using. We did have 27 violation notices that were delivered. One penalty was assessed for water wasters. And then our large item pickup is underway currently. So just started in April and it'll be running through September.
And so what they do is call here, make an appointment, and then we send a crew out to pick it up, whatever it is up.
Yeah, they could either call the Public Works Department or they can go online now, and there's a pretty easy to use form where they could sign up, list their items, and then we'll get out there.
All right, thank you. Mr. Terpstra. Mr. Werner. Mr. Restuccia.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming to the First Responder Appreciation Day and to Dennis's retirement on Saturday. Thank you. And I know we need new speakers. I know it.
Mr. Euchre.
Nothing to report.
Mr. Barton.
Except one thing. Congratulations, Dennis. Are you still here?
Yeah,
There he is. And you too, honey. You get to be with him all the time now. Lucky you. Woohoo.
Forward to that.
Mr. Barton.
Yes, I wanted to thank Councilman Restuccia and Mona for putting on a great event last Saturday and echo some of the comments to Dennis. I've known Dennis a long time, back in the Ripon Farm Service days. Without going into too many details, Dennis has saved my bacon a few times out at the ranch. So been much appreciated, the opportunity to work with him, and you will be missed. Look forward to getting to know the new chief better and onward and upward for the department. I also wanted to mention to those here that we had a really good strategic planning meeting again last week, which the city staff does an outstanding job putting together kind of the plans for the upcoming year, and that is a public meeting. And if folks might be interested in that next year, I'd encourage you to come. There's a lot of information there that kind of gives you an idea of where we're going as a city.
Mr. DeGraff.
I know, I got a good crowd to thank for being here.
No kidding.
They're not here for us though, unfortunately. Yeah, I was unfortunately unable to attend the First Responders Appreciation Day. We were out of town, so sorry that I missed that, but heard it was great, and I'll look forward to that every year, and I know the community does as well. It's a good opportunity to thank the members of the fire department, police department for their service, and just a great community event. So glad that went well. So thanks to everybody who puts that together. Chief Bitters, congratulations. I know it's probably bittersweet sometime leaving, but bittersweet. Yeah, I know, no pun intended. But just we want to thank you for everything you've done for this community, and wish you well in your retirement. And you're not far from me, so I'll be seeing you around. So. But congratulations and enjoy. And then to everybody who attended, thank you for listening to us. We appreciate you. Appreciate your input. Kelly, it's good to see you. It's been a while, so hope you're doing well. I know. Well, yeah. We only have once a month meetings.
Got to keep reminding her.
That's it. Thank you all.
All right. And now, we talked about this, but I don't remember what you said. Do I end this one and start the other one, or do we just move right through? All right. Thank you all for attending. Trust me, you don't want to stay for the next thing, even though it'll take 2.5 minutes. Dennis, congratulations. And in speaking from experience, best part is yet to come. All right. Meeting is adjourned. Thanks. Nah.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the next.
Then let's call the meeting of the Ripon Redevelopment Successor Agency into session for Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. Can we get a roll call, please?
Director Mike Rosusha,
Present.
Dean Euchre,
Here.
Gary Barton,
Present.
Vice Chairman Daniel DeGraff,
I'm here.
Chairman Leo Zuber.
Present. Public
Cute, Ryan.
discussion. Anybody gonna stop long enough to say something? Apparently not. Moving on, can we get approval of the minutes for the last meeting, which was December 12th, 2023?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent calendar, U.S. Bank Successor Agency bond refunding. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
Nice work, Mr.
Man,
Wow, that was a long meeting.